The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Central Kentucky high school basketball starts now.
Welcome to Frederick Douglass High School ladies basketball, the Lafayette Lady Generals, and the lady from Frederick Douglass, the ladies here, and Rick Reams, the man that knows round ball better than anybody in this town, I think, is on. Tim Rose here, Jackson Miller, our producer, and Rick, we got an early start, more of our traditional 7:30 start that we thought, as Mr. Miller being a prophet that he is, he said, I think it may start a little early, so here we are.
Yeah, we had been told this game would start at 8 o'clock, and sorry we're on a little bit late. I had some duties I had to do at church, but we're here now. Yeah, excited for a good game. You know, this is kind of the standard bred, the old Lafayette versus the new and upcomer with Frederick Douglass. I'm going to tell you how old I am, Tim. Coach Allison Denton, Lafayette's coach, played her career at Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. I probably saw the majority of her games when she played. My wife was the cheerleading coach there. She was quite a player. She's 22nd season. First of all, that really means I'm old. But secondly, that means she's the longest tenured basketball coach, boys or girls, in the city of Lexington. She's got a great program going here. So it should be a good game tonight. The interesting thing to me is, can Lafayette withstand the pressure of Douglass? That's what Douglass does.
That's right, up and down, 12-8. Douglass comes in, Lafayette 12-7, I believe, on the record. So 12-8, Lafayette 12-7, Douglass. Region-wise, Lafayette 8-4 in the region. Douglass has not lost in the region so far at 9-0, but Douglass has never beaten the Lady Generals. 0-9 all time.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, you see it a lot, Tim. There's some teams that just have the other team's number, and what you can do is both coaches can use that. You can say, we're 9-0. Let's not be 9-1. Let's keep this streak going. And then if you're Douglas coach, if you're Coach Moberly, you say, hey, we have never beaten this team. We're trying to start this new tradition here. You girls said you wanted the X on your back. How are you going to do that? You're going to beat Lafayette and get an even bigger start in this region. Because like you said, this will put them at 10-0 just in regional games, which doesn't matter right now. But when you can get into the postseason and know we've played these teams and we have beaten these teams, it speaks volumes.
Oh, yeah. These are two teams that really expect to be in that region tournament, to be maybe bashing each other's heads come semifinal round.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Douglas learned a valuable lesson last year. They beat Henry Clay twice during the regular season. First round of the district, they lost to Henry Clay. Their season was over with. They don't want to do that again. So like you say, they may be bashing heads, but what they have to realize is they got to take it every game. But right now, I can't believe we're talking about postseason, but it's a month away. And so that's what these coaches are gearing up for. Frederick Douglass, they just came off a loss, but they had a 5-game winning streak going, and that's what they want to keep that momentum going. And then if you're Lafayette, what you want to do is you want to get a win against a very, very strong Douglas team, which can bode well for you in the future. So I think this is going to be an exciting game. Again, I'll go back to it, a 22-year coach versus a 3-year coach. Let's see what happens.
That's exactly right, Rick. And, you know, these are seasoned coaches. They know to schedule tough. It's not like college football. You don't have to schedule to go undefeated. They're playing tough. The best teams in the state, Sacred Heart, Assumption, Mercy. These are powerhouse women's programs in the state. They're like, we might drop a few, but we're going to find out who we are and how we get better come district and then regional play.
Absolutely, and now's the time. I mean, we talked about this the other night, and you don't want to – I mean, you can look at it this way. The regular season in the state of Kentucky really doesn't matter. Everyone's in the tournament, okay? So what are you doing? You're building for that. You don't want to go over in the regular season. But what I'm saying is you can lose a game here and there as long as you learn from that. And that's what these girls have to do. Tough North Laurel team came in here and beat Frederick Douglass. But what do you learn from those situations? What can your coaches build into you? You have to learn something from every game, a win or a loss. And honestly, when I played, sadly, sometimes the biggest lessons I learned was when I lost. I didn't want to lose much, but when we lost, we realized, okay, because sometimes, you know, you think you're a little fat and pretty out there, and you think, we've got this down. And then you face a team that just plays harder or does something to stop you, and then, boy, what coaches love is that's when they can get you in practice and say, okay, let's look at this tape. Here's what you thought. Here's what's happened. How we fix that.
That's coaches love to be teachers, and that's when you get to really put on that teacher hat. Like,
Absolutely.
oh wow, they're looking at me. They're not looking down. They've got my attention because we just got slaughtered the game before.
Yeah, exactly. And Lafayette lost a tough game on Friday to Lexington Catholic, and our LCA, excuse me. And so 53-50, you're going to learn something from that game. But again, you want every game to build up to the next game, and the next game, and the next game, and the next game. But what you can't do is you can't look ahead to the next game. You got to understand, let's play tonight. Let's come out here and leave it all on the court tonight. I know one thing about Douglas, they're going to put pressure from the time the tip goes until the game ends. If you're Lafayette, are you ready for that pressure?
Yeah, what's the backcourt like with Lafayette withstanding this pressure? What do you think?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. It's an interesting turmoil you come into playing against Douglas because, honestly, there's not a whole lot of teams that athletically have that ability. So you may see it off and on, and even Douglas pulls it off and on. But what Douglas does is they pressure in so many different ways that you've got to have, what I've always said is you have to have a coach out on the court, and that's your point guard. Your point guard has to be able to withstand that pressure, has to be able to make some passes. So, one thing about Lafayette, they are very, very young. They're sophomore. They have one senior, a junior, but everyone else is sophomore. And so you get that, and then, but also Douglas is the same way. Very young, with Myra Christian being the only senior. But what you see is you're going to see pretty much two different styles out here. What I've always said is if you're playing a team that likes to pressure you, what I would do if I'm coaching is I put the pressure back on them. Let's see if they can handle what they dish out. Now, the one thing you got going for Douglas is every day in practice these girls are playing against pressure because that's what they do. But if you're Lafayette, I throw something junky different at them to see, can you handle what we have tonight? It may be different.
You've coached a lot in sports, youth sports, high school sports, Rick, and I wondered, you've watched Coach Denton more than I have over the years. It makes me feel old, too, because she graduated 4 years after I did, and she's coached for 22 years. But you know how coaches evolve. The smartest coaches do that have that lasting power to stay in the game. 22 years head coach at Lafayette. How have her style of play and different things that she's mixed in, how's that changed over the years?
Well, I think one thing you'll see from her is, and I think she would admit this, I haven't talked to her, but I would think she would admit she was a very emotional coach at first. As time goes on, she's still got she will get on her players and the referees, but it's kind of dialed in. She's really figured this stuff out. So when she was a player, I'll just tell you, she was a hard-nosed player. She was a rebounder. She was on the floor. She was doing everything like that. And I think that's what she's going to instill in her girls because, no matter who you are, you knew how you played, and how you coach is to that. So I think you're going to see a lot of hustle, a lot of diving to the floor and things like that. What you have to do, though, if you're Lafayette, is with Douglas's size inside, you've got to limit the second shots, and that's what Lafayette has to do. And what you have to do is you have to block out all over the court. It's not enough to block out their three inside players. Your guards are not going to be able to leak out for layups. You've got to block out Christian. You've got to block out Nia Rhodes. You've got to block out those girls because they can get the boards. But the one person you have to watch on the boards, Ariana Darrington. 9.5 points a game. She had an injury early on, so she's just now getting into herself. When I talked to Coach Mobley before she started playing this year, he even said, this year is kind of be her learning year, and next year he says she's a Miss Basketball candidate. From what I've seen, that's true. She's just got a little bit to work on, but then they have others. Nia Rhodes is over 1,000-point scorer as a sophomore, which I jokingly, but not jokingly, I seriously said it. In all my career, I don't think I ever scored 1,000 points. I'm talking church league basketball. I'm talking everything. So she in 2 years or 3 years maybe has done that. But she's a force out there, a great three-point shooter. And then if you go to Lafayette, you're looking at Savannah Simpson, who's 13.1, 7.3 rebounds, a 6-foot sophomore. Again, she's got some size.
Yeah, she's the stir that straws the drink for Lafayette for sure. And I think that a big key, Rick, Darrington is such a glass eater inside and the backup center as well. But so that those second chance points, because they got 3 or 4 3-point shooters at all times on the floor. They line up there around the perimeter. So she gets that rebound. Let's say Rhodes misses it, but then Christian's on the other side, on the other wing, ready to shoot it after the long kick out. That's the big thing that Lafayette's got to be challenged over today.
And they do. And the one thing Lafayette has to watch also, because the other night Frederick Douglass against a great GRC team, which, everyone thought that was going to be George Rogers Clark got up 16 in the second half. Everyone thought this game's over, myself included. What Douglass did, though, is they started showing a little more dominance on the boards. Darrington did a beautiful job of rebounding, turning, and throwing a long pass. They had 7 or 8 layups in a row. So if you're Lafayette, you've got to get back on that. Again, you can't crash all your girls on the boards because someone has to be back. Because if not, Christian or Moberly, even if they bring in Kate Baker, she will do that. The other night, Amaya Maxwell had a great game. So it's just things that you have to watch. The great thing now is, Tim, when I played – my dad was like the only video guy around. He had a Betamax video camera. So we didn't have the abilities to really watch games and to really have the coaches go through the game plan. So they've seen that tonight. But I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot easier to talk about than it is to do. So you got to come out on the court and you've got to perform what your coach has scouted. But can you do that against Douglas? And Douglas the same. Can you do that against Lafayette?
That was the neat thing. Dad bought a camcorder back in 1983, and I was looking. I converted my Christmas present to myself last month was I converted some of those old VHS tapes to DVDs to watch some of those old games and hear the commentary, and that was something else.
Yeah. My dad had a reel-to-reel radio recorder. And so one of my first games as a sophomore, we played against the Lafayette, the championship team in '79. And we played at Memorial Coliseum. And my sister was a cheerleader, and my dad was taping the game because he never thought I'd get in. Well, I got in the first play. I ran over after a ball. I, again, just dove everywhere. That's all I could do. And I hit my cheerleader's pom-pom, and I literally slid underneath the stands. and the announcer said, well, Reams has been in for 33 seconds, and he's under the stands, and we're not sure he's coming back out. So, I got some great memories with that. But like I say, the game is so different now with video coordinators. I mean, we're sitting here. There's a flat screen TV right here with us. So, we're 3 minutes away from tip. I think it's going to be a great game. Just interesting to see who can impose their will on the other team.
No doubt about it. We're going to take a break here on Glycod and be back and tip it off here from Frederick Douglass High School, the Broncos and the Generals on Glycod.
New teen drivers are at greater risk for car crashes, particularly at night and during the first few months without adult supervision. Checkpoints is a free 1-hour educational program held monthly at the Jessamine Career and Technology Center in Nicholasville. It will help you help your teen be safer when they become a new independent driver. For more details, including program incentives and how to register, visit the Jessamine County Health Department's website at jessaminehealth.org.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give Rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The prescription pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back to Frederick Douglass High School. Time for high school hoops. The ladies, Lafayette Lady Generals, 9-0 all time against Frederick Douglass. Against this team, this Frederick Douglass team looking for their best season in young school history. Tim Rose here, Rick Reams, Jackson Miller producing the event tonight, and got a 7:30 tip, and we're excited to get this one going. Two good ball clubs.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game to see how they come out and play tonight. And like I say, these teams are, anytime you play a city school, it's always an exciting time, and especially to come out against we talk about it all the time, but Douglas's athletic program right now is top tier in everything they do. So the girls want to continue that. And if you're a player, there's no one you want to beat more than someone that is considered the top tier program.
And Moberly, of course, he gets teased like we said last game we did together at Tate's Creek. The other coaches at Douglass are like, hey, we beat Lafayette all the time. But you've never beaten them.
Exactly. So that's one of those things. You know, if you're a new school, you've got to start your new trends. But the one thing is you don't want to do is have that 0-9 record. So you want to break that trend tonight.
No doubt about it. We got our starting lineups. First, we'll go with the Generals. You got Savannah Simpson, as you said earlier, best leading scorer on the team, only a sophomore, 13.1 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, a 6-foot sophomore. This against Darrington, this Simpson versus Darrington matchup is really going to be something to see.
Yeah, you got 6'1" against 6 foot, and I tell you what, in girls basketball, that's definite size there.
Simpson, Nelson, Combs, Anna Clay Denton, coach's kid. How about that? And then also Grayson Grants for Lafayette, starting for them. And then also for the same five that we've seen before, Nia Rhodes, 1,000-point scorer, only as a sophomore. Maya Christian, a dead-eye shooter at senior guard. Ayanna Darrington will definitely be playing D1 basketball in a couple seasons. Kate Baker and Maya Maxwell.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to play it. And I'll tell you what, a little late start because of me, but, hey, basketball's on, and we're here.
We're ready to go, that's for sure, and want to make – see if that, no, actually he had a different starter. So I thought Tisha Bangi was starting for Lafayette. She is not. So we got the jump now. And we are underway as the Douglass controls opening tap. They'll drive it right on in. Block, no good. Rebound, Darrington. She'll get it back out, and Douglass will set it up. Left side, Baker. Top to Christian. Looks inside. Backdoor cut, no good. Rebound, the Generals there is didn't cut quick enough. That was a tough pass.
Yeah, Rhodes should have taken that shot instead of trying to find Christian underneath.
Lafayette moving that ball around. Get it out in the free throw in the paint area. Looking for somebody. Picked up the dribble. Hands it back off. Right corner, Denton. Denton will shoot. No good. Rebound, Lafayette. Good board. Back out. Denton has it. Have you ever been a coach's kid?
I have not. My kids, unfortunately, had to have me being their coach in some things. But
layup is up and in. Nice play there as Denton found Grants for the first bucket of the game. Generals 2-0.
Yeah, that's one thing Lafayette has to do is be, even against that pressure, be patient. Lafayette's coming out. Looks like a 1-3-1 zone, which they're throwing something different at Douglass.
Three-pointer, Baker, I believe. No good. Strong rebound to Douglass. Back in. Maxwell up. No good. Too strong. Rebound, Darrington. She backs it back out. Baker with it. Cross court. Rhodes will drive. No good. Rebound, Lafayette. Good rebound there. She's been active on the boards early.
Yeah, Christian there. She usually hits that shot, but that one just wouldn't go in. So they got two other opportunities to score, but they couldn't put it in the basket.
We've got 215s. I think Tisha Bangi is actually number 13. We'll correct that, and that's who's been real active on the board so far for Lafayette, number 13 there. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Douglass.
This is what Douglass likes.
Get the ball up and down the court.
Yeah, didn't have numbers, so smart play.
Rhodes thought about it. They swing it to Baker in the left corner. Cross court. Looking for Darrington inside, but she's doubled up.
Good hands there by Lafayette. Great job.
Back the other way. Generals up, puts it up and in. Nice scoop play there, acrobatic style. by Simpson, and that's the player to watch for the Generals.
Yeah, she got the steal and got the ball.
Darrington back the other way, though. Nice jumper in the paint. And that's the way when your adversary scores the other end, that's what you do. You go back in and score against her.
Exactly right.
Yep. Denton for 3. It is bottom of the net, 7-2. Good start for the Generals.
Yeah, that's one thing. Her mother was more of an inside player, so interesting to watch her coach her daughter as an outside player.
Sounds like the coach, just like you, had the knee pads.
Uh-huh.
3-pointer, nothing but net on the other end. That's Nia Rhodes.
Yep, they're
7-5, actually.
Yeah, they're giving the score to the wrong. Oh, and there's a steal on the inbounds play. That's where that pressure gets you.
No doubt about it.
Coach Denton is not pleased.
Not at all.
Yeah, she's. I told you she was a fiery player, and because a coach, there are times where you have to tell your players you've got to. That's what we worked on. That's a frustration for a coach. We worked on this.
First free throw is good. Or Douglas, that's Meyer Christian. Yeah, Coach Denton for Lafayette has not gotten the memo that the college coaches have kind of, during COVID and post-COVID, dressed down a little bit more casual. She's not casual at all. She's got the game face on and dressed to the nines.
Absolutely, absolutely.
2 for 2 as Douglas makes it from the charity stripe. It's 7-all. 4:59 left first quarter. Lafayette against this full court pressure. Looking for Denton. She has the ball. Gets it up court. Simpson. Oh, too strong on that pass. Not enough. Back the other way goes Douglas.
Christian with a good steal.
Those floating passes got to have a little mustard on them.
Right.
Baker stripped, but the reach in there is, I don't think Coach didn't like that foul call.
That's one. What you have to do is you've got to slap up on the ball. You slap down, and the referees are going to see that. I think Coach Denton's into this game.
She is. It was interesting, the facial expression from the official after he heard a little bit from Coach Denton there.
Yes.
3-pointer from the corner. Rhodes, no good. Rebound, Denton, Lafayette. 7 apiece still, 4:30 left. First quarter from Douglas High School. Denton finds Simpson. She will drive in, puts it up, no good. Battle for it. She gets it away from Darrington. Inside shot is up and in good by Tess Nelson, 5'10 sophomore, having a really solid campaign, 9.9 points, 3.9 boards.
Yeah, great rebound and pass out and get her easy shot.
They are not intimidated here.
No.
Nice strip. Way to get in the passing lane there. That was number 11 for Lafayette in the game now. 3-point top of the key is good. Lafayette's coming hot here. 12-7 Generals. 3:55 left first quarter.
Grant's hit that. If you're in a man-to-man on Douglas, you've got to find that player, and they didn't find her. The zone is very active for Lafayette. The one way to get a team out of the zone is to hit three-pointers or get inside passes like that.
Maxwell snuck behind the defensive unit there and got an easy deuce. 12-9 Lafayette.
Great pass by Baker.
Looking for Simpson, no good. They've got to be careful on these turnovers, on these passes. Not sharp. Darrington will drive in, and she reach in, I think, on the floor. Let's see. No, she's shooting too in the act. Hacked in the act.
Yeah, now this will, of course, be the color guy's curse, but she's a 78% free throw shooter, a good free throw shooter. I won't say she'll make these, but she's a good free throw shooter.
Makes the first one, 12-10. Substitution for Lafayette as Tisha Bengi comes back in, and Tess Nelson takes her first breather. Good crowd on hand on a chilly Monday evening. 2 for 2. You didn't jinx her this time.
No, I tell you what, that's going to be an important thing for them going down the line because Darrington, she's going to get fouled a lot as much as she plays. So hitting free throws is a big thing.
Grants gets it into Denton. She crosses midcourt, which is the first goal.
Right.
And also, don't get trapped in the corner. Stolen, though, at midcourt. Up and in goes Christian. Yep, and ties it up 12 apiece.
Yep, Coach Denton, if you make a mistake tonight, she has had it. She's not going to leave you in there.
No. Denton gets it across, looking for Tisha Bengi. She has it under the goal. Has to get it out, too far under. The floater is good.
Good play there.
Grant's her second bucket of the game.
Yeah, hit that three, hit 5. She's had 5 in a row.
5'9" senior, averaging 6.6 a game. Already 4. Darrington inside, too much, up and in.
Beautiful no-look pass by Christian.
This really should be 14 all, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. A little trouble on the scoreboard.
Some mind games with us.
Yeah. Made another mistake on that.
Got a substitution for Lafayette, Olivia Plank, a 5'6" senior. Checks in, giving Grants a breather. 14 apiece, 2.5 left first quarter here from Frederick Douglass. Lafayette Generals in the house. Baker out top, over to Rhodes. And to Christian.
Douglass is missing a
deep three,
shot. Perfect shot there. Yeah, what I was going to say is Douglass is missing an opportunity. It's open on that backside, so go ahead and get that.
That's why Rhodes is a 1,000-point scorer. She takes a 25-footer and makes it.
And then Rhodes with the steal.
And she over the back.
Yeah, Christian on that one. She got the steal, couldn't get the layup, and then over the back to get the foul.
You don't like fouls, but as a coach, a hustle play like that, I don't think Coach Moberly's going to be too upset at her.
Right, exactly. That's one of those where you got the steal.
We have a timeout, 30-second called on the floor. We will take it with them. 2:03 left to Douglass and Lafayette, hitting their stride already early on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back. 18-14, Douglass leads Lafayette. Ladies basketball, 2:03 left first quarter. Lafayette against that full court pressure. Done a pretty nice job so far.
Yeah.
Reaching in, Baker there, and gets called for it.
Yeah. What you can't do is that's what Coach Denton's telling our girls. You can't leave Denton in the backcourt by herself. She is going to go. She's going to get into a trap no matter where she goes. So your best thing is to throw over top of that.
You got to love, we're closer to her because we're in the corner down here, but you got to love Coach Denton's passion. She's got fourth quarter passion right now.
Yes. It shows how much this game means to her. She's not going to like a no call there.
No, push a little on her daughter there on a double team, falls to the floor and loses the ball out of bounds.
She wants an answer.
She's accusing the defender of a hip bounce to her daughter there.
There you go.
Douglass the other way. Up four.
There's the offside. That's what I
got
was talking about. If you rotate that the right way, that's going to be open against that zone all night.
Good call, Rick. Yeah, Maxwell again, sneaky, got behind the defenders for a second bucket of the night, and that's the biggest lead of the game for either team, a half dozen, 20-14 for the Broncos. Plank with it up top. Will hand to Denton. Denton kind of in no man's land there, and it goes off her hip. It's going to stay, though. It's interesting. The referee made a motion that went off the offensive player's hip, but I guess he meant it went off the defender's hip.
Well, he was also on the same end as he was coming back towards Coach Denton, and I don't think he wanted to hear that the second time. So,
yeah, I think you're right.
I'm just joking, but it was funny.
Nelson gets it to Grants, puts it up and in. She's had a nice game so far back.
Yeah, Grants does. She has got a nice shot. She hit that three-point shot. She can take it inside the lane, so good job there.
Christian brings it up for Douglass, up 4, under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Left side to Baker. To Darrington up top, free throw line. Now right side, Rhodes, the deep three. Good. She kind of lulled him to sleep there.
Yeah, she did. She usually goes up so quickly on that one, but I'm going to give her credit. She tried to look that ball inside, but, man, if you can shoot like that, just go ahead and shoot it.
I know. A good credit to her because a lot of times when people think about it a little, they never make it. You see that at the college level all the time.
Yep, too much.
No good for Lafayette that time. 22 seconds, up 7, Douglass going the other way quickly. Get it to Darrington, stripped from her. Denton saves it. Battle for it. Darrington back with it. Baker for 3, top of the key. No good, too strong. Rebound Lafayette. 8 seconds. They've got time.
Plenty of time.
Denton to Grants. Puts it up. Blocked by Darrington.
Blocked by Darrington. She's played great defense the last 2 plays.
Yeah, into the first quarter. Exciting affair. 23-16. Douglass leads Lafayette. on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back. Douglas High School, Lafayette, and Frederick Douglass. The ladies, Douglas so far after one, 23-16. Tim Rose here with Rick Reams and Jackson Miller. And Rick, any surprises so far through one?
No, this game is pretty well gone, as we talked about. Pressures for Douglas, and then for Lafayette, withstanding that pressure, getting some easy shots, and they've done that. Again, I think what you have to watch if you're Lafayette and you're going to stay in that zone, you're going to have to, first of all, come out further on the three-point shooters, which opens the middle up, but also if you're Douglas, run that backside all night long because it's going to be there. The next thing that Lafayette needs to do, we talked about it, they left Denton all by herself to bring the ball up the court. You can't do that because Douglas will double, triple, quadruple team you there. And then the other thing I'm seeing is Darrington is pretty much starting to have her way on the defensive end. A couple block shots, a couple rebounds, dribbled out herself, and then got in and made the basket.
That's a challenge with that suffocating defense by the Broncos, and that length that makes you want to float passes, and that's where they've gotten in trouble and gotten the turnovers.
You're exactly right.
Denton with it, dribbles off her foot, gets it back, jump ball.
Yeah, that was just a tough break by Denton. She actually had a step, and the ball bounced off the side of her foot. Nothing you can do about that. That's just literally the way the ball bounces.
Douglas brings it up here, just starting the second quarter, up 7.
So change to a 2-3.
No look. Love that to Maxwell. The no-look pass was perfect from Christian.
Yeah, they've changed looks to a 2-3, but if you're 2-3, you've got to make sure no one's behind you, and they didn't.
Three-pointer in the corner is bottom from Nelson for Lafayette. Dead-eye shooter there.
Boy, she brought rain on that one. Beautiful arch. Wow. Nothing but net there.
Yeah, I remember some of my shots at James and Allen. They used to say, man, Tim, we thought you were going to hit the rafters on those shots.
Exactly.
Maxwell, left corner, back out to Baker. 25-19, Douglas leads. Right corner. Christian into Darrington. Over to Maxwell, back out to Baker.
Good look there. Good movement of the ball. Baker wasn't quite ready for that one, so she did a smart thing not shooting that.
Maxwell, corner three is good. Both teams lights out so far tonight. Hot shooting.
Yeah, and Maxwell, I tell you what, she's not known for her three-point shooting, but she is really shooting it well tonight.
She's got 9 already. No good this time from Nelson. Good rebound, but blocked on the rebound for Lafayette.
Yeah. So she's it's interesting. Maya Maxwell, a 14% three-point shooter.
Wow.
So that's one of those you back off, give it to her, and she says, okay, I'll take it and hit it. So, wow.
And that's how the coaches say you start out with shorter shots. She's already made 3 layups, so then you come out and shoot the 3, right? That's how you practice and warm-ups.
Exactly.
Yep. Christian with it back the other way, up 9 now. She will put it all up herself easily and good. Double-digit lead now, 30-19.
Yeah, if you're Lafayette, you have got to stop her and make her make that pass. She drove it all the way in and then gets a steal. We're going to get a timeout, I have a feeling.
Yeah, 32-19 now. And she's telling them the sub to hurry up, get to the scores table.
Yeah, she has seen enough. There's another bad pass.
Man. You can't float these passes.
No.
You got those line drive passes need to happen, and she's seen enough, down 15 now. 34-19, 6:10 left. We'll take a break here on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back to Frederick Douglass High School. A tight game has been opened up by this Broncos press, up 34-19 now. And if only the Lafayette huddle could talk, Rick, we could heard some interesting things there from Coach Denton.
Yeah, Coach Denton has taken a lot of her players out. You can tell she told her team before the game, if you throw the ball away, you're coming out. And that's what she's done every time. So got some subs in, see if they can do any better.
Plank with it, looks for Tishabangi, goes up, she's blocked. That size getting to him. Battle for Lafayette gets it back. There's Simpson. She'll drive in, puts it up. Oh, no good.
Simpson, that's where they need to go.
Yeah, more times. Baker to Christian, cross court to Rose. She'll drive in, blocked by Simpson. Rebound Christian, though. Up and in, 36-19.
Christian is so active.
Yes.
Transfer from East Jessamine. I saw her play at East. She was so active there, and here she's just trouble all over the court. She never stops moving. She knew that time. She reached in and got the foul. But, boy, you talked about it, kind of a hustle foul, and that's okay. You got that 17-point lead, and this is what's happening right now. Is I said who would inflict their will? Douglass is, and Lafayette has not withstood it at all.
She's got that Jack Russell Terrier in her,
Yeah.
I think, like you said, that energy.
Yeah. So Douglass has come in with their 8th grader, Jaylee Knowles, gets Darrington some rest. She got some great minutes while Darrington was out, so she plays well also.
Nice play there by Lafayette. And get it up, kind of stop the bleeding for a moment.
One of those reserve players that made it in.
36-21, Douglass, 5:13 left before halftime. Out to Baker. Maxwell at the free throw line, back out. The floater is blocked.
Good defense there.
Good job. Trying to get, is that Combs? I have it listed number 1, but number 11's played quite a bit for the Generals. Plank, right corner, deep 2 is no good. Rebound, Douglass. Blocked Simpson, nice defense in the backcourt, and she's fouled.
Good defense there. Again, if you're going to get pressed like that, go ahead and press yourself. And right now, Simpson's the one. They need to go to her. She has the experience. She's got the size, although she's just a sophomore, but she's their leading scorer.
Simpson with it. Left corner 3 is no good off the front iron. Rebound Lafayette blocked. Another block. And that's that height advantage again. 1-on-2. Finds Baker up top to Rhodes. Rhodes being dogged by Plank. Maxwell, top of the key. They'll take their time.
Yeah, and no rush, which is very, very smart.
Up 15, 4:15 left before halftime. No reason to be. Rhodes, right corner.
Flash a little bit more in the middle. Watch Jaylee Knowles comes out to the outside and then see if Maxwell flashes down.
They've done a good job on Baker. Has not had any open looks yet. She'll drive the floater. She heard me. She's like, if they don't give me the open 3, I'm going to drive.
Exactly. And that's one thing. As you said earlier in the game, that's going to open her up for the outside shot because now they've got to go ahead and make sure that he does that.
Lafayette back the other way down 17.
Nice.
Up and in, though, by Tishabangi.
Yeah, a nice pass by Combs there. She's had a really good game. They brought her in, and she's really come in a 5'8 sophomore.
3-pointer no good. Rebound Lafayette. Dangerous pass, though, and back rebound Douglass with it. The subs playing well for the Broncos.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of drop-off when they bring their other ones in, but great job
That's
there.
Michaela Bennett there.
Yeah.
Good minutes off the bench, kind of like a 6th starter.
Yeah, Bennett did a great job in the last game against GRC. She's the one that kept breaking out on layups. Darrington would get her the ball, but there you saw Jaylee Knowles, the 8th grader, just thinking and knowing the game of basketball, anticipating that pass and knocking it out of bounds.
You've seen more of the local teams than me, Rick, so far this season, but the depth, they just have a depth advantage.
Yeah.
All the other teams don't have it.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
that key?
They've got depth and they've got quickness that other teams just don't have.
Simpson no good, follows her shot. Great job. No good, gets it again. Love that action.
Absolutely, and that's a great stat stuffer there. 2 offensive rebounds. You missed 2 shots, but all seriousness aside, a great play by her. And if Lafayette's going to have a chance, she's going to have to make it happen.
Going to have a big night for sure. Baker with it. 2:40 left before halftime. 40-25. Douglass leads. Bennett to Baker. Generals try to getting single digits before halftime. You've heard that old adage,
exactly.
of course. Up and in, though.
Jaylee Knowles, the 8th grader, just a great play by her there to get to the basket, go ahead and put it in, absorb the contact. And you can see she's slight of stature, but when she gets in there, she's got a strong base.
Yeah, indeed. And fluid.
Yes.
You've got a lot of fluid players.
Yes. And
that's something you can't coach. You either got it or you don't.
You are exactly right.
That's why you're over here.
Right, exactly.
We weren't
right.
too fluid.
Exactly right.
Rebound Simpson for Lafayette, 40-25. Douglas leads, 2:22 left before halftime. Plank tried to find Plank a little overthrown. Rhodes with the steal and draws the foul on Plank.
Yeah, and more defense. Douglas has come in with Reagan Gregonis, number 0. She's a left-hander. She plays a lot, has really good games in the JV game, so, she can play this game also. Oh, they've walked away from Rhodes. You're not going to get that very often. You're going to open shot, and she missed it, but they're going to keep the ball underneath. That, again, we talked about in the pregame, you don't want to – it's a blue ball.
Blue ball.
Okay, but you don't want to give Douglas a bunch of extra chances.
Simpson with it in backcourt for Lafayette. Layla Flynn actually was not playing with that last foul. She's only an 8th grader. Layla Flynn, number 10 for Lafayette.
Yeah, so you got 2 8th graders, Flynn and Knowles. That's one thing I've noticed in the city that's a lot different from when I played. There are 8th graders that play. Man, Wes Jessman has a couple really good. They were 8th graders last year. Now they're 9th graders. One is actually playing. Maya Chestnut's now playing for George Rogers Clark. But a lot of young talent in the city, which bodes well for these teams.
Flynn with it for Lafayette. Hands off to Simpson. She'll take it inside. 8-footer. No, too strong. Gets her own board. Up. Good.
Yeah. Simpson, she did good there, but, she had a wide open layup. She needs to take it all the way to the basket. Hardest shot in the world is to hit that right in front. There's Gregonis. That's what you see in the JV games. That's why it's fun to come and watch, because you kind of get a scouting report on some of the kids that may play, and you see that to give an 18-point lead.
She shot that like she shoots. She scores 20 and 9 on the varsity level with confidence, and nice left hook, crafty player.
Yeah, I tell you what, like I say, she's one, and you can see Coach Mobley. He's so excited. He loves getting these girls in and getting the experience. And another steal there.
Another steal by the
Knowles.
backups. Rebound Gregonis, no good. Rebound Lafayette.
Yeah, that's one that Knowles that time didn't take that one up strong enough.
Flynn with it for Lafayette. 47-27, under a minute to play in the first half. Douglas ahead.
Nice pass.
Nelson is fouled. She'll shoot 2. As Rhodes draws it.
Yeah,
gets it.
On that one, if you're Rhodes, she's complaining about the call a little bit, but her problem is she's got to beat that girl to the spot. You can't let that long bounce pass get in there. So 54.1 seconds. We're going to have some more subs coming in. One thing about that is Lafayette girls are tired. It's hard running and running and running.
That stifling pressure all the time for sure. But you're right. That's one of the things I think that the officials have to educate the players the most on is, hey, that player beat you to the spot. Right, that's why you picked up the foul.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Nelson makes the first one, and the second's perfect as well. 47-29, 54 seconds left. Douglas basketball.
75% free throw shooter. You can tell why there. Nice rotation on that ball.
Gregonis. Rhodes thought about the 3. Darrington flashing around that high UCLA offense, I think they called it. Right side. Looks into Maxwell, back out to Rhodes. Good defense here from Lafayette.
Yep, they're happy to hold it for the last shot, but they're going to get a foul called. One thing Darrington does, if you watch at home, she holds the ball up so well. What drives me crazy? Even this year, Oscar Sheboy is bringing that ball down. As Coach Pruitt told me, you make yourself a 6'8" player against 5'8" if you bring that ball down. So you hold it up. And Darrington does a beautiful job of that on offensive, defensive rebounds, and also just getting the pass in. She turns with it up high.
Don't turn a Great Dane into a Dachshund.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's what you do. And I tell people, you give those guards just ample opportunity to.
Nice feed there from Gregonis in on the out of bounds pass to Darrington. She'll shoot 2.
Yeah, I tell you, there's one pet peeve I have with referees, and it's at all levels now. They wait to see if that shot's going to go in before they call the foul. No, when I refereed, you know what? If it's a foul, if the shot goes in, it's a foul. If the shot doesn't go in,
Amen.
It's a foul also. But even the college game now, they wait to see if, and I don't understand where that's come from.
Don't get it either. Darrington drills it again.
Yeah, 4 in a row. She's just got beautiful rotation. Bends those knees when you're tired and you shoot free throws. You've got to bend those knees, and she does a great job of that.
49-29 Douglas. 25 seconds left. Lafayette still trying to break half court. They got it. Over to Nelson, up and in. Nice job.
Yeah, almost a turnover turned into an easy basket. Douglas is going to be able to take the last shot here. Unless they get an open one quicker, they're going to be in any hurry.
Bennett cross court. Rhodes came down with it.
Nice job. That's who you want to have the ball.
Good defense there by Flynn.
Yeah.
Stolen. And that's how we conclude the first half, 49-31. Douglas leads Lafayette at halftime here on Glycol. We'll be back with our halftime program.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back to Frederick Douglass halftime show. Time 49-31. The home folks are ahead of the Lafayette Generals, and this would be kind of a historic night. They have never beaten Lafayette in girls basketball in the young school's history, 0-9, but so far so good.
Yeah, so far they're looking good. Let's talk real quick, Tim, about we had some keys to the game that we didn't get to since this game started a little bit early. We don't have I'm not smart enough to know how to get these on the screen, but we'll just talk about them. The first key I had for Lafayette was withstand pressure. I'm going to ask you, how'd they do with that?
The early on, maybe not bad in the first quarter, but that's over relentless. If you just keep getting, how much paddling,
Yes.
our parents would give us 3 or 4 licks, but if you got 10 or 12, boy, you ran down for the count, right?
Right.
So it's just like it took time, but once it did, those I won't call them lazy passes, but those floating passes that drive Coach Denton crazy. That came back to bite them because
Right.
you're not going to. They were shooting very well. That was kind of masking some of those bad passes, but then the shots weren't falling, but they weren't even getting shots because of the turnovers.
Well, and you can tell the one reason that we know that Lafayette's key was because of the way Denton pulled her players when they made a mistake. You can tell she talked about, here's the pressure that's coming. We can't have turnovers. If you can't, and she even told one of her players, I'm not going to let you stay out there and throw the ball away also. So, that's what she did. So, yes, they've got to do a better job. The problem, though, as you talked about, Tim, is cumulative effect. even a halftime rest, you're still going to know you're almost in that locker room going, please don't let them have that pressure again. So they've got to do that. The second thing, which I think they did okay, limit second shot opportunities. They did a pretty good job on the defensive boards. There were times where Douglas got the second point opportunity, but, it wasn't a huge factor. But I think as far as Lafayette goes, the reason they're down 18 is the pressure really got to them.
Yeah, their front court passing was really good. I was impressed with a lot of their passing. They got some easy baskets, a little two-man game, but against that pressure in the backcourt, that was where they really struggled.
Yeah, so let's go over to the Frederick Douglass side. We talked about, first of all, control the pace. How do you think they did with that?
Did really well. Yeah. They sped them up into costly turnovers, and they got some easy, cheap buckets and got everybody involved, which they typically do anyway, so they did a good job. Yeah,
I totally agree with that. And then the second part was I said they needed to minimize the turnovers. We don't have a stat sheet here in front of us, but as far as I can remember, Douglas has done a pretty good job minimizing their turnovers. Not near as much, but they said Lafayette has had a bunch of turnovers on deflections and different things like that, or they're not taking care of the ball. Douglas is making better crisp passes. There still have been some turnovers, but I don't think Lafayette, I think one thing Lafayette realizes now, when I say this, they're going to come out in man-to-man in the start of the third quarter, but I think they realize they're going to have a tough time playing man-to-man, so they're going to keep on staying in those zone defenses. Two things, as you talked about, Douglas has to have crisp passes. Also, the backside is going to be open, and underneath is going to be open on that. And then if you're going against Douglas, you just can't have lazy anything. Lazy passes, lazy dribble, lazy anything, then you're in trouble. The second thing is, if you're Lafayette and you do get a rebound, you need to take it right back up to the basket. Try to get Douglas in foul trouble. What you can do, in order to erase an 18-point deficit, there's only so many minutes in the game. Steal points with the shot, with the clock stopped. That's free throws. So that's what you do. You've got to get to the free throw line.
And your best player, Simpson, she's got to touch the ball every possession. Yes. And a lot of possessions she didn't.
No, and that's the thing. I think that's what they're talking about right now, because what you want to do is you want to run your offense through her. She doesn't have to shoot every possession, but you're right. She has to touch the ball. Now, the thing I've seen about Simpson that I'm impressed with is at her size, with a 6-foot player being a sophomore, she handles the ball very well, and she can shoot from all over the court. Okay, then use that. Let's put her in different places on the court. Let's get her the ball. Then let her make the decisions. Come in and make good decisions, make good passes. I thought they got some really good moments from Isabel Combs, the 5'8" sophomore. She was one of those that didn't just holler at one player and said, get out, and she came in, and she's done a really good job. You come into a situation like this as a sophomore, and you can be scared to death. My big thing is, how are you going to handle the bright lights of the varsity game? She's done a good job tonight. Gregonis for Douglas, same thing. She's handled this varsity game. So, it's going to be a tough thing for Lafayette to come out. What you have to do if you're Coach Denton is say, okay, let's break this game up into 2 or 3 minute segments, okay? Let's try to get the lead, not the lead in the game, but in the segment each time. And maybe a little bit by little bit by little bit, you add on. What they can't have happen is these first 3 minutes of the third quarter, they can't come out and get down by 30 points. Then the game's over.
Right. That's exactly right. A lot of talent on the floor. I mean, I think we're thinking, conservatively speaking, a half dozen players here that could be playing college basketball on Saturdays, no doubt.
Absolutely. It's at some different levels. But, yeah, I think we're seeing that. And I'm sure there's girls on these teams that right now aren't playing that as they get older, we're going to see they're going to be a good future.
And iron sharpens iron. More from the middle school rank and JV ranks are going to press them, so only force them to get better.
That's exactly right.
We'll take another break and then tip it off. 2 minutes until the second quarter starts. 49-31, Frederick Douglass over Lafayette on Glycod.
New teen drivers are at greater risk for car crashes, particularly at night and during the first few months without adult supervision. Checkpoints is a free 1-hour educational program held monthly at the Jessamine Career and Technology Center in Nicholasville. It will help you help your teen be safer when they become a new independent driver. For more details, including program incentives and how to register, visit the Jessamine County Health Department's website at jessaminehealth.org.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give Rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back to Frederick Douglass. Start of the second quarter here is 49-31. Lafayette with the board, no good. And Maxwell gets it for Douglas. Back the other way. Nia Rhodes up and no good. The iron unkind.
Yeah.
Been waiting to say that one.
Euro step just didn't go in that time.
That's right. Didn't back with it. She had a breather there in the second quarter. Mama wasn't happy. Simpson, nice play and one.
Yeah, absorbed the shock from Darrington and got the ball in the basket. I love it. Lafayette came in a 1-4 set to start off, but I love the last words Denton said. She sat on the bench. Coach Denton looked at her team and said this, figure it out.
Figure it out.
There you go.
We've heard that from our parents back in the day, didn't we?
Yes, exactly.
Especially we're bashing heads with your brother, and they're like, figure it out. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. He fouled me.
Little confusion there on the referees on that. But, yeah, Coach Denton, I think her point was, you know what, girls, I'm not playing. You guys are going to have to go out there and figure this one out.
49-34, a life teaching moment there, right?
Nice look.
Darrington, you can't allow her to get the ball in that deep.
No, and that was one time where I think she fumbled the ball. That's why she brought it down, but it got her in trouble because, again, she got hit. But if she had that ball straight up, she could have made the shot and gotten the free throw.
49-34, Darrington for 2. At the line, misses one, surprisingly.
Yeah, it is, but I tell you what, but she has such beautiful rotation on that shot. I mean, that's one of those. Kyle Macy wasn't 100%, but boy, missed 2 of them.
Rebound Maxwell and blocked. Simpson blocks it. Jump ball.
Yeah, good play there by Simpson. If Coach Denton was not going to be happy giving up that rebound on a missed free throw, but she did a good job of getting in there. So now you're going to have Douglas's ball underneath.
Baker underneath. 49-34, 7:18 left third quarter. Finds Christian. Right corner, Baker 3 is too strong. Rebound, Lafayette's Grants.
Yeah, good job. Good block out there. Good play by Douglas, but just wouldn't go in.
Simpson all the way to the rack. Scoop shot. Thought she'd go up strong. Went with a scoop. No good, but Denton gets it back. Finds Simpson.
Yeah, Darrington made a bad outlet pass there.
I like Simpson handling the ball handling duties, too, to give Denton a breather.
Yes.
Denton with it. Dribbles into the paint, looks outside, looks for backdoor cut from Simpson, finds Grants. No good. Block shot from Darrington. Rebound Maxwell. Loose ball, Grants gets it from her, though.
Good hustle there by Lafayette, not giving up on that ball.
Nelson 3 is perfect. Nice form by the talented junior.
Yeah,
sophomore.
As far as I can remember, she's 2 for 3 on those 3-pointers, and this is the start Lafayette wanted. They've come out.
3-pointer and Rhodes, no good. Rebound Baker on the other side for Douglas. 49-37. 6-0 spurt to start for the Generals. Into Darrington, though. Nobody there on the right block.
And let's give Amaya Maxwell on that pass. Beautiful pass. No hesitation. Bounce pass. Hit Darrington, who is wide open.
Nelson will take another 3. It is no good. Rebound Darrington this time.
Nice outlet to Christian.
Euro step is good. Nice play there.
Yeah. It's interesting how that's changed because when I played, that was a walk.
Denton just said that to the official. He said, Mr. Zebra.
That was a walk.
Grants almost stepped out of bounds in the corner, but got it out to Denton. 53-37 Broncos. Denton will drive. She's bumped and fouled by Baker.
Yeah, Baker with that one again. If you're going to do that, you got to beat her to that spot, and you can't run the straight line that she's running. You have to run at an angle to beat her there because you know that's where she wants to go. Even when she has the ball, you knew she was trying to get to that left side to lay it in.
Isabel Combs back in for Lafayette. Good minutes, like you said, off the bench in the first half. Over and back. Nelson tried to save it there. Poor pass.
Yeah, what happened at that time was Simpson lost her footing and was going to walk with the ball and then made a bad pass and then went over and back. So Lafayette still back in the 2-3 zone.
Christian with it, top of the key. Over to Baker. Patient. Christian with it. Baker the three from the left side, no good. Rebound Simpson. Good defense. Oh, strip. Christian almost got it from Simpson. Simpson loses it to Baker. Douglas ball. Now stolen by Grants. Good hands by both teams. Nelson will take a deep two. On the left side, no good. Rebound Maxwell. For
Look
Douglas.
up. We got numbers way up.
Got Rhodes all the way in for two.
Nice fake. Nice pass by Baker. Good play there.
55-37. I think Coach Moberly had a quick timeout for Douglas here. 55-37, 4:52 left. A full timeout now in the third quarter. We'll take it with him here on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
55-37. Douglas leads Lafayette third quarter, 4:52 left. Tim Rose here with Rick Reams and Jackson Miller. Rick, and some good round ball activity here in January. Like you said, the postseason's not that far away.
Yeah, and this is one of those we talked about the first couple minutes of the half, and what happened with Lafayette is they haven't won that segment, but they kept it even. They're still down 18, so they can build a little bit off of that, but you saw right there Douglas started their running game, and right now Lafayette, I think that's a good timeout, even though Coach Moberly may have called it to give Lafayette a little bit of time to rest.
Overthrown. That's what the pressure does to you. There's Grants overcompensated for the height and tried to get it to Simpson and overthrew it.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you make that throw on the move, it goes a lot further than you think it's going to. So
you got momentum.
Yeah, a lot of momentum.
It's like
going.
the wind behind
Physics will work that way for you. So
our physics teachers will be proud of us. We actually remembered one or two things.
Exactly. That's about it. Don't ask me about the angle of a ladder against a wall, but
Baker fed Darrington, and a good box there. Might have been a bump, but good job using your body. You've had many coaches tell you that.
Absolutely.
God gave you a butt for a reason.
That's exactly right. And, if you're a guy like me who doesn't have any speed, using your body, but that's a mistake you can't make. Darrington's just too tall to do that, to make that back pass all the way down the court. She had all kinds of time. Looked like a defensive back just licking her chops to get that interception.
Christian back out to 20 after layup and rebound Darrington, and reaching in by Nelson for Lafayette. She's going to send the eighth grader back in.
Yeah.
As Coach Denton, along with Plank for Lafayette.
Yeah, and that's one of those. They're taking Simpson out. She's made a couple mistakes also. Your best player is not immune to making mistakes, and I think it's important to take your player, even your best player, out when she makes mistakes so she can learn. She's not going to be out on the bench long, but that's something to learn.
Yeah, everybody needs a little time to think and evaluate. They can analyze and realize what you did out there. Once you see a little action on your own, it's good. Baker, right side to Rhodes. 57-37. Douglas, comfortable 20-point lead here midway through the third quarter. She'll take a three, rolls in the shooter's roll.
That's how you know that's how you get 1,000 points as a sophomore. You get those rolls, but that's just a good shooter's touch.
It is.
Nice play.
Way to break the press, but missed the layup though.
Yeah, that's one you just got to finish that. And this is what Darrington can do.
All the way.
She can take it to the basket herself, get her own rebound, and then set up the offense.
Christian to Maxwell, loses it. Darrington gets it back up. No good. Rebound, Lafayette's Nelson.
Lafayette kind of dodged a bullet there, but now you got to make Douglas pay on the other end and put the ball in the basket. They've had a scoring drought here.
60-37. Denton with the ball, guarded by Christian, and Rhodes gets it, comes over for the double team, gets the steal. Spin move, puts it up, no good. Wanted the foul.
Christian on the rebound.
And Lafayette back the other way. Denton, no numbers, going to take it up. Finger roll, no good. And you see that a lot at all levels, overcompensating for the defense instead of going straight up there. As Christian back the other way gets two. It's easier for me to say that watching games, but I see it all the time in college and pro, where just go up strong, maybe draw the foul. You may not. You may get it blocked, but it's the odds of you getting that circus shot to go in are hard.
You know, what I would say is what I always tried to coach is I liked when someone blocked my shot because I had them the rest of the game. That meant every time I was going to shoot, they were going to jump. So my pump fake was beautiful the rest of the game. So, you know, in this day of the ESPN highlights, you don't like to get your shot blocked. But, man, I always try to tell kids, use that to your advantage because once they jump up and block your shot, man, they think they got you. And then from the rest of the game, you're pump and go. You got that all game long. So, as you said, I think that's such an important point. Go to the basket. Even if you get it blocked, at least make the referees make the decision whether they're going to call a foul or not.
Right. So you had the patented up and under before Lambeer even did.
Exactly. Well, Lambeer and I are about of the same vein. So let's just say that Lambeer used it a little more to his advantage monetarily than I did. But yeah, that's one of those things. And it's interesting there. Douglas called that timeout. And I think Coach Moberly, what he's doing is he's getting his girls rested because they are not going to pull this pressure off until he tells them to pull this pressure off. And right now, this is all, again, this is building for the future. This is getting in shape for a region, a district, you know, games like that where you're going to have to play a full 32 minutes of hard basketball.
And he hadn't been at the varsity level that long, but so seasoned. He worked his way up. He was a middle school coach and an assistant at the high school level, and he's been well groomed for this position.
Well, and the good thing he has also is he knows this city. He knows these girls. He's coached a lot of them, coached against a lot of them, so he knows how to play these teams.
Got some subs in here. We'll update you as soon as we can. Flint, the three-pointer for the 8th grader, no good. Rebound, Darrington. She's got a double-double for sure tonight. Christian, 62-37, largest lead of the night, I believe, for Douglas. 2 minutes left in the third. There's Rhodes in the right corner. Yeah. I think she's taking a little. She's taking a little break.
She was frustrated there. She was wide open and wanted that ball. Now you have Knowles and Darrington in at the same time. That's an interesting rotation. I think it's something that can pay dividends, but you got to get them used to playing with each other because they kind of play the same position.
That's a good point, Rick. Rhodes looks right corner to Baker. She'll take the three. No good. High bounce. Rebound. Christian going at it. Good save. Always hustling, but throws it to Lafayette.
And a smart play to throw it underneath your own basket. Don't throw that ball to the other end of the court.
We've seen that against the full court pressure sometimes, our defensive rebound and then across the paint, and that's danger zone right there. That's the opposite of that.
Exactly.
Lafayette with it, trying to chip into this lead. Only 70 seconds left here in the third quarter. Go inside on the right block, up and in. Nice job by Combs.
Yeah, good play there by Combs. Again, she went up. She did what you said. Went up against the bigger Darrington, took it right to the basket and spun it in.
I'm bringing my best. You bring your best. We'll see who wins.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. And that's all you can do.
Love her.
You can't do anything else.
She makes high percentage shots, 55% from the field on the season. Darrington, no good. Rebound, Baker. She'll bring it out and reset for Douglas.
Baker's got a little smile on her face. You know, she doesn't get in there and get rebounds very often, but that one she got.
Yeah, Combs 6 rebounds a game, 7.7 points, 55 from the field. As Christian lays it up and in, she can do it. She can do a little of everything.
Yeah, she's really, really a smart ball player, very smooth. She's one she just has to keep her emotions under check. Sometimes she gets frustrated with herself and the referees. She comes up with the steal. She makes it good when we're talking about her.
She'll take the three as well. And one of the most impressive things, she's only 5'3", but averages 7.3 rebounds a game. That tells you the hustle factor right
and
there.
That's the want to. There's Knowles with a rebound and the putback for the 8th grader for Douglas. So we got some younger players playing last 3 seconds.
Lafayette got to get one up here. The three-pointer on the way is no good. We conclude the third quarter, 66-39. Douglas leads. Back in a moment on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter, 66-39. Douglas leads Lafayette. A thrilling game. Really, the second quarter, Rick, was the big key here, where the game was kind of nip and tuck. I believe 23-16 Douglas after one, anybody's game. But that second quarter stifling pressure just kind of, that was been the key that took it, that stretched the lead out, and it's kind of been Douglas ever since.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we talked about. How long would the pressure, how long could they withstand the pressure? And you were right. I'm going to give them a quarter and about a minute is how long they hit. And it's tough. I mean, you know, you get seasoned players out there. We talked about the boys' game the other night. Dunbar couldn't handle Douglas's pressure in a boy game either. So it's very, very difficult.
It really is. Lafayette basketball. Allison Denton with it. That's the coach's name. That's her daughter with the ball and gets it into Grants, who's had a nice game, her first bucket of the second half.
Yeah, came in there left-handed, used the backboard and got it in. It's hard to do a bank shot right from the front, but she did it.
Kirsten Kelly was in for a couple minutes for Lafayette, wanted to get her name in. She's back out now, but younger player getting some action. Baker for the three. No good. Battle for a loose ball into the basket. See who comes out with it. It's a jump ball.
You know, one thing you got to love about Douglas and Coach Moberly is Katie Baker is a shooter. Now, tonight she's not making them, but she keeps on shooting them. And I never had that luxury. I was not a scorer, but she's a shooter. And what are shooters going to do? They're going to shoot, and Coach Moberly knows that. She may miss a couple more, but she's going to keep on shooting, and she's going to hit them. But, man, to have that ability and to have that confidence to be able to do that's a great thing.
Smart coaches will keep telling them,
Yes.
go keep shooting, because you want to keep that confidence in a
Exactly
shooter. Once
right.
like a kicker, once they lose that confidence, look out. You don't want that.
And the opposite's true. Once they see the ball go in, boom, it's on.
Indeed. Douglas here taking their time against this 2-3 zone, 66-41, 7 minutes to play.
Douglas bringing their younger players in.
Bennett to Baker to Gregonis, who's had a nice first half. Baker to Gregonis, batted away to Maxwell. Or Simpson for Lafayette, rather. Simpson with it. Hands to Denton. Then drives on Baker. Nowhere to go. Looks for Simpson out top. And she trips, falls, and got a jump ball here as Bennett ties her up.
Good sportsmanship there by Bennett. Good, you know, hard-nosed play, and that's exactly what you want.
That's exactly right. Got Nara Wilson in for Lafayette at forward. A younger player averaging a point a game. Number 20, but good size. So three-pointer, beautiful by Simpson from the right corner.
Yeah, Douglas has in number 10, Carly Craig, 5'8" junior, getting some playing time tonight. She's going to be right up there at the free throw line and flash in the middle.
Cross court to Bennett. Nice block there by Isabel Combs.
Yeah,
Lafayette.
Jaylee Knowles needs to come a little stronger on that one.
Three-pointer from Grants is up, no good. Rebound Combs, another rebound for her. Denton with it out top. 66-43 Douglas. She'll drive, picks up her dribble, finds Simpson up top. She'll drive. Right block shot, no good.
Knowles with the rebound, a good outlet pass, but just Craig could not get there.
I had some point guards think of me that way,
Yeah,
too. Like, why couldn't you run it down? We don't have speed.
I wouldn't have even tried. I would have just stopped on that one. Yeah, that's a turnover.
Steve Miller ever like, Reams, come get it.
Exactly.
Lafayette against this pressure. Looking for a bucket. Denton up top. Nice crafty left hook off the block is in. Good.
Yeah.
Way to use the bank there.
And use her offhand. I do believe she's right-handed, so
That's
a really good thing to be able to do. I couldn't do a whole lot, but I could play right or left-handed, and that's really to your advantage.
It really is. People expect you to go up with your right hand. Nice anticipation by Simpson there on the right block and bats it out of bounds. Stays with the Broncos. 66-45. Douglas leads 4:51 to play.
Yeah, McKaylee Bennett there. She had that shot. She tried to get the ball inside to Craig, but probably should have taken that three. She's another one that plays a lot in the JV games, very active.
Bennett Gregonis back to Baker. Cross court to Knowles. She puts it up. No good. Good defense. And some contact, no foul. Just stays with Douglas.
I think the referees are ready for a short night, so I think their whistles may be a little bit slower in this fourth quarter.
Their bellies are growling.
Yeah.
Baker inbounds on her own basket. Looking for Knowles. Knowles didn't realize pass was coming to her. Gregonis tracks it down. Maxwell with it. Gregonis out to Baker. Finds Knowles on the right block. Double team. Good defense, and Simpson ties her up.
Yep. That's what Knowles did again. The first thing she did, Tim, is she brought that ball down. And what happens, if you're smart, you just grab the ball. That's what you do. But, she's an 8th grader. You got to learn. That's where this game pays dividends. You learn.
Exactly. We've got a timeout. 4:27 to play. Douglas 66, Lafayette 45 on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back. 66-45. Douglas leads Lafayette girls basketball action. From the 11th region, 4:27 to play. Tim Rose, Rick Reams, Jackson Miller, Rick, and some good action here on a Monday night.
Yeah, and if you notice right now, they're going to blow the whistle again. Coach Denton is using every second she has to teach. That's what 22 years of experience gives you. You're down 21 points on the scoreboard, but you can still learn, and she's trying to teach her girls to build from this point, and these young girls especially who are getting a chance to play.
You've got to love teaching as a coach, or else, because 90% of your time, or even more than that, is when you're going to be in practices, not during games.
Exactly.
You're going to be teaching the whole time.
And you want them to learn, but you've got to also learn in under the big lights. You've got to learn. Good job there by Denton to get the steal.
Right. Puts it up. No good. Good defense from Knowles. We'll go to Douglas.
Yeah, Knowles did a really good job there of causing some problems. We've got Christian and Rhodes coming back in for Douglas. Going to let them get a little bit more time here.
Yeah, it's kind of a report card, like you say. When they have your 2 games a week, you get those little quizzes during the week to see how they've kind of implemented and utilized what you've taught them in practice.
Exactly.
Left corner 3 from the lefty Gregonis, no good. Rebound Lafayette.
And I tell you what, coaches notice they have that scorecard, and boy, your report card, if it's the next day in practice, they're going to bring it up.
Grants with the floater. Good. Nice job. Way to use the backboard.
Yeah, and a nice job also to jump off to the side there, not to get the charge. Jaylee Knowles should have just waited there, but even if she did, there wasn't going to be a charge. So 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Douglas is just working on some things, trying to, again, build for the later in the year.
How was your report card against Menifee the next Monday?
Well, surprisingly, the best game I had as a sophomore was against that Menifee team. I scored 6 points. I had 3 tip-ins just by my dad said, you never saw one of those balls. I just flailed my arms, and I did. But I fooled a lot of people that game. They thought I was going to be really something, and that may have been the highlight of my high school career, my first game as a sophomore against the state champions.
Simpson with a nice cut, no good. Blocked by Knowles, going to get a body foul on her.
Yeah, Simpson, you can tell she's frustrated tonight. A lot of her shots, you can tell, normally go in. She's that type of player. Tonight they're not going in. But what I'm impressed with is she's still playing. You know, a lot of times you can hang your head and just say, it's not my night, I'm done. But she's still playing, and you got to give her credit. Even down this big 19 points, she's still out here playing.
And like rebounding is all about positioning and hustle, so you can tell, and she's always going after these rebounds. You can tell some of the stars sometimes in different levels. You can see who wants to, when they're down and out and had tough games, are they still hustling for boards, and she's doing it all the time.
Yes, and that's one thing college coaches look at. What's your attitude when things go against you? You know, it's easy to see what your attitude is when things are going well. How do you respond during the tough times?
Now, with all the video, those college coaches are looking at the body. I want to see her body language.
Yes,
I want to see his body language. They're down 20.
Exactly.
Let's see what the body language is like.
And are they, as you said, are they hustling? Are they rebounding? Are they doing anything? Even if, are they on the bench? Are they up? Are they cheering? You know, that's one thing with Douglas's boys. Kai Simpson, who's their leading scorer, who's out a little bit with the flu. He played the other night. But I see him at every freshman and JV game. He's sitting on the bench. He's coaching these young kids. And, I mean, if people see that, if you see that as a college coach, that's so impressive because everyone else is up playing, you know, with their phones in the bleachers, and he's out here high-fiving and different things like that. So very impressive.
That's right. There's Christian makes the free throw, 67-48. Douglas leads Lafayette, 2:36 to play. Half-court pressure now they pick up with the big lead.
Douglas has their starting five in, so he's working on something. I know Coach Mobley, he's not one just to rub it in. What he's working on now is a different kind of defense, a different kind of trap, something he's wanting to see his team work on.
That's right. You can implement some things when you got a big lead like this. And 67-48, Douglas. Lafayette inbounds the ball. Grants into Denton, guarded by Christian.
Going to clear out and let
Simpson with it. She'll drive back out to Nelson. Good double team when they take a couple dribbles. Denton left corner. Looking cross court to Nelson. Back out to Denton. Trying to run a play here.
Yeah. They're going to spread it out, let Denton go, and let her make the pass. And she did a good job there. That was a good set by Lafayette. They took their time. Again, 17 down. They're not going to win this game, but they're working for the next game, for the district, for the region.
Grayson Grants, nice play. She's a really nice shooter.
Yeah,
she's got a clean stroke.
She's had a really good game for them.
Christian will drive, lost her man. Three-pointer from Gregonis is money.
Yeah, she's got a nice left-handed shot. For those of you who remember, Jack Givens, James Lee, a lot of lefties have come through, and for some reason, they seem to have a lot of pure shots. There's Darrington again. She's just so quick.
Sloppy pass. Darrington in for two, rack to rack.
Yeah.
72-50, 1:13 left.
Darrington is very, very comfortable handling that ball, which is so impressive with her size at 6'1".
You're right. A lot of times they're still growing into their body at that age, and they're clumsy and awkward sometimes. Not her.
Yeah, got a legal screen there.
Had first one of the night, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's not been a whole lot of calls here. On that one, someone's fouled out. I'm not sure who they called that foul on.
Yeah, Christian will check out. Let's get her number. Number 25 has not been in the game for Douglas tonight with 55 ticks left. That is Rebecca Filizaire, 5'5" sophomore.
We love to get everyone's name on here because me being a bench player, I know how great it was to hear my own name. And these girls practice every week. They play. Some of them play in 2 games before the varsity. They'll play a freshman game, you know. And so let's get their names on the air so everyone knows they played. Their parents, grandparents, cousins, uncles, aunts are all pleased to hear that. So good for them.
You would have gotten a cigar endorsement deal now with the NIL
That's
deal because
exactly
you're
right.
the Victory Cigar man.
That's right.
Like Leroy Bird, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Gregonis with the steal. Or they knock him back court, actually. 38 seconds left, 72-50 Douglas.
Coach Moberly's just talking to his girls and having them settle down. It's 30 seconds. Don't have to do anything if they don't want.
Rhodes. I like to see that effort on defense from Lafayette, though.
Lafayette says, okay, we're still playing. Okay, we're going to still play then. We're not just going to give you points to let you beat us worse than we're down now.
Rhodes no good. Combs with the rebound. Flynn, right corner, Plank for three. She'll shoot it. Little short rebound. Darrington. It's had about 20 of them tonight, I think. Steal, though, by the 8th grader, and the jump ball as time expires. Nice hustle play there from Layla Flynn. Want to get her name right, only an 8th grader, to go up against Darrington. Good courage there.
Good job, good job. Good way to finish for Lafayette.
72-50, Douglas lead, wins this basketball game against Lafayette in the 11th region. We'll come back and wrap it up here on Glycod.
New teen drivers are at greater risk for car crashes, particularly at night and during the first few months without adult supervision. Checkpoints is a free 1-hour educational program held monthly at the Jessamine Career and Technology Center in Nicholasville. It will help you help your teen be safer when they become a new independent driver. For more details, including program incentives and how to register, visit the Jessamine County Health Department's website at jessaminehealth.org.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give Rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back. 72-50, Douglas victors over the Lady Generals from Lafayette. Their first victory in 10 games against Lafayette. So a big night for Coach Moberly's Douglas Ball Club. The Broncos, more of what we've seen before against Tates Creek and other teams this year. Full court pressure. They just keep coming at you, 9 or 10 deep. A lot of long arms. Athletic team can shoot the ball too.
Yeah, it's one thing to watch them play, to talk about them play, even to watch video of them playing. Going out and playing against them, that's the hard thing, and that's what Lafayette found out tonight.
You got to have a lot of depth. You got to have multiple ball handlers. It's not easy, which they do have some good ball handlers, but just this is shaping up to be a really in their it's shaping up to be maybe the best year in their program's history.
Yeah, absolutely,
I would think, right?
This right now, they've had some okay years, some good years, but right now, Coach Moberly, like I said, we didn't get to talk to him tonight, but every time I talked to him, he said, I want to be the team in Lexington that has an X on their back, that everyone wants to go, that can kind of judge how they're doing against us. And right now, they are the top team in Lexington. So, top team, one of the top teams of the 11th region. Right now, they are a perfect 10-0 against 11th region foes.
That's right. We've got our stars player of the game, Rick.
Yeah, so if you look again, Lafayette had a rough night, but they had some good players. Savannah Simpson had a good night. But we're going to give the game tonight to number 24, Grayson Grants, a 5'9" senior. She's averaging 6.6 points a game. She had more than that tonight. She had a really good game, a good shooting touch, was able to get some drives and different things. It was a tough night for all of their guards to handle that ball. Denton had a tough night, but she had some good moments also, something to build on for them. And then if you go with Douglas, I mean, you could grab a bunch of players for them. They had a lot of players come out and play really well. But tonight, the one girl that we thought would have a big game, she did, Ariana Darrington. You talked about it. I was more impressed with her rebounding than I was her scoring, although she did a good job scoring. But she is so big in there, so tall, and can make such a difference. And then the thing about her that impresses me, she can rebound it, and she can take it coast to coast herself, dribbling, and get the ball in the basket. And you talked about it. That's an unusual. Some girls, first of all, at this age, but secondly, at that height, they're just trying to, and I'm not being facetious, they're trying to figure out how to walk and chew gums at the same time. And she's taking that ball down the court like a point guard.
Yeah, we see that with 6'9" boys.
Yeah,
the same
absolutely.
deal. It's the same deal, you know.
Absolutely.
Keith Pill was a solid, great player, but still, it took time to grow into that body.
Yeah, it's a different ball game now. Every time I'm out here, I see this. This is not the game that I played, which is good. They don't need to play the game like I played it. But the thing I did like was Douglas had a lot of fundamentals tonight. Fundamentally, what you got to do on defense is you got to get in the way of passes. Deflections. Most of you all are probably too young to remember when Patino was here, but Patino, he would stat those deflections were the big thing, and that's one thing I look at is deflections. How are you doing with the ball? And I tell people when I coached, even if you don't get the steal, that deflection makes a difference, and that you get in someone's mind a little bit. Oh, I've got to make a better pass next time.
And they have to, with that height, they kept floating those passes that came back to bite them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about it early on. You can't do that. And I know that's why Coach Denton, I know, was so frustrated early on. Is, you know, it's one thing to be a coach and you tell your girls, don't float those passes. Don't float those passes. Don't have turnovers. Don't make bad passes. And what do? They come out, they float passes, they have bad turnovers, and they make bad passes. And then all of a sudden you're down 18 at half, and the game just goes from there. So they're only doing -4 in the second half. If you're Lafayette, what you do is you build on that. Hey, we played them close in the second half. You never bring up situations. It doesn't matter who played. What you say is they were +4 in the second half. We can do that. We can build on that. And that's what Coach Denton's doing now. She was frustrated with the girls, but now I know she's in there loving on her girls, telling them, you know, you did a great job against a difficult team. Let's learn from this. Let's not repeat it. But we're going to have a chance. We may play this team again, and things could be different.
Yeah, you saw her, you know, soften up a little second half. It got out of hand, and she could tell just they were tired, and they were doing their best, and you know, but they will live to fight another day, and they got a lot of good basketball left in them this year.
Absolutely, it's going to be interesting to see from now. You know, it's just a month, but man, things can change in a month. And a game like this, again, I talked about it early on. You can learn a lot from a loss, and let's see what they learn from here. And that's what Coach Denton's telling them. Okay, here's what happened to us. Let's see if we learn from that, or if we play this team again, is it going to be the same, or is it going to be different? That's what you have to see.
No doubt about it. 72-50, Douglas girls beat Lafayette tonight on Glycod. For Jackson Miller, for Rick Reams, Tim Rose saying good night, everybody. We'll see you in the next ball game.
You've been watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation.